welcome to Evangeline Mornings. I'm Nancy Kay. We have a wonderful show today, starting with our first guest, Superintendent of Evangeline Parish Schools, Darwin Lazard, and Assistant Superintendent Michael Lumas. Thank you for being here, gentlemen.
We're glad to be here. Thank you so much for inviting us. We always look forward to sharing information about the local school system. We always want to be accountable to the public and to the taxpayers.
Of course. And I see you wearing your masks because I know part of the school policy, I'm imagining, is wearing the masks now. Did that ever change, or from the beginning? Well,
actually, the regular policy is voluntary mask wearing. That's what we've had in place, except for when the governor, if we are advised by the medical officials. And so I was contacted earlier this week, actually, and advised that if we want to keep our schools open, just simply because of the number of cases that are popping up in Evangeline Parish, then this is a precaution that we should take. Of course, Mr. Lumas and I are not medical professionals, we take advice from those that are.
Of course, yeah. We do have a lot of people popping up with it, with this new strain. And
unfortunately, it can't end fast enough for us. It's made our jobs certainly more challenging, not only us, at our level, but all throughout the school district and at every level. It presents some challenges. So we're looking forward to a brighter day.
We're the second year into the pandemic now. How has staff and teachers worked with COVID? Because I know there were a lot of changes had to be made, and honestly, I think you guys did a great job in the half and half schedule. But how difficult was that adjustment for everyone?
It was a huge adjustment, but our staff is to be commended. We have some of the best people that work in Evangeline Parish Schools, and I'm so proud and privileged to be the superintendent of schools. And so they have adapted in spite of all of the things that have been recommended for us by the medical professionals. We put those things in place, trying to keep our schools open. That's what our goal is: keeping the schools open, keeping our employees safe, keeping our students safe, and of course their families as well. So it's very important, and that we continue to do things of that nature.
Right. And I think some teachers were kind of enjoying having that Wednesday where they had office hours instead, and I think the school board voted to keep that Wednesday. Is that still in practice, or that was just for last year?
No, that was just for last year, and we used that as a cleaning day. But we certainly were trying to increase the number of instructional minutes that we're able to provide in person for our students, because we've looked at data, and it certainly shows that our students benefit more by being in person. I will say that Mr. Lumas was one of the lead architects in creating the virtual school program that we had, and I'm sure he'll speak to that in a moment.
And I think that was EVA, is that what it was?
Yeah,
yes.
Evangeline Virtual Academy.
And I was about to get to that. So how has that worked out?
We actually had started Evangeline Virtual Academy a couple of years before COVID started, but it was relatively small. With the advent of COVID, let's just say the population in our virtual school exploded. When we advertised it, at one point we had actually about 2,000 students that had enrolled, which is a third of our student population.
Wow.
So it expanded very rapidly, and we adjusted very quickly to handle those students and staffed it appropriately so we could handle that challenge. Full credit to the staff at EVA, the principal, the assistant principal over there, Mr. Steve Manuel, Mr. Dawn Hardy, and the teachers that work under them did a phenomenal job. And it was a huge job that goes mostly unseen by the general public, but did a fantastic job making sure students had the instruction that they needed and were receiving the help and stuff that they needed, including after our office hours for them so that they could answer questions and stuff when parents would come home and stuff. It was a challenge. Virtual school is not for everyone. You really have to be self-motivated to keep up with the assignments and stuff. But we provided what students needed, and so we kept the ball rolling. As the year went on, as COVID declined, students wanted to come back face to face, and we allowed them to do that. So We still have Eva. It is a little bigger than what we had in the past, but nowhere near the 2,000. In fact, they're probably around 200 right now in Eva, and it continues to move on. We have good platforms in place. The elementary side last year, we had to totally reconstruct that. We had bought a program which we found out very quickly was not going to be adequate to address all the needs. And so we had to kind of regroup. And we actually had teachers, our own teachers, had developed lessons, online lessons. And the work they did was absolutely phenomenal. We should be able to market and sell. We can't, but it is such a good product that they put out there. It is so well organized and so succinct and follows the curriculum so closely. We're incredibly proud of it, but it's there and we can continue to use it. And it's always there if students need help and assistance. We had a few little hurdles in the beginning that we had to overcome.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah, it was a new program and stuff, but we adapted pretty quick, and it continues to be a successful program. Like I said, not for everyone, but some students absolutely thrive in that environment and
That's
do
what
extremely well.
About to say, because I was probably one of those students in school who probably would have benefited the most. I was just very shy and I was very introverted, and I know some kids just have a difficult time in school altogether, and I think they would absolutely thrive.
Yeah.
But if they're not doing the work, I mean, you guys do a progress report, and if they're not keeping up, then they have to go back to
Correct.
physical school.
We do have that caveat, and the parents sign off on the student signs it, that if they don't maintain their assignments and don't keep up with the assignments, they can be removed from EVA and put back in the regular school system.
Right. And has that happened often, or are they keeping up with their grades and their work?
Most of the students keep up with it. I'm going to tell you, my teachers go above and beyond trying to work with the students, trying to make sure they can get the assignments done. But we have had to remove some students. But it works very effectively. We do believe in second chances. And we had some students that at first did not perform very well, but once they understood what they were going to be held accountable for, and we talked with the parents and stuff, and they were able to turn it around and do the work quite effectively.
That's really wonderful. Now, how does it work with students who live in those rural parts of the parish? I know we're a rural parish, but those really rural parts where they don't have internet access.
That's the challenge.
Yes.
We have a number of ways that students can do it, but I'm going to say we do have that challenge in the parish, especially in the rural areas, especially in the wooded rural areas where it's almost, you can give them a hotspot, it's not going to help. We do provide hotspots, we do provide Chromebooks to all the students. There is an orientation that they go through, so they have their passwords and they know what they need to do. But for some students, just because of the location, it's not a viable option for them.
Right.
And until that changes and we get fiber to the home throughout the parish, someday. And we are actually working on that. We have been having meetings with organizations that are working towards that end.
That's what I was about to ask, because I know I used to cover the school board meetings a lot, and I would hear you talk about trying to talk to these different companies and trying to get high-speed internet for the whole parish to help these students. So what progress have...
Well, we're continuing on. I've had a great participation with the police jury. Also, there's been some great meetings organized by Senator Heather Cloud, Representative Rhonda Butler. I think we are certainly moving in the right direction, and I think we're closer than we have ever been. Working with the Acadiana Planning Commission and other entities, they see that there's a great need here in Evangeline Parish, and as I've said to the gentleman that's in charge of the technology project for the state of Louisiana, I mean, Evangeline Parish could be the poster child for, fixing the internet problem, because I would think that we are representative probably of more of Louisiana than these urban areas. So being that we are so rural. So I think we have made some progress. We've written grants. We have applied where we can, see if we can get some federal monies so that we can be a part of transforming Evangeline Parish, giving us what we need. This would be like bringing an interstate highway down every main street, in every community in Evangeline Parish, if we can get fiber to home. That's important.
It's a difficult task, certainly a monumental task, but I'm encouraged to hear that you've come farther than you have. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this. You're watching Evangeline Mornings on UGN's Louisiana Television.
Hey, you can check out Louisiana Television on UGN Broadcasting by downloading the app on Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, and all mobile devices. From Mardi Gras to Gumbo, Zydeco, and our 400 festivals, what other state can you go in and see a world of yesterday and today in the same blink of an eye? From LSU sports to Bayou Classic, Creole Cajun cuisine, Louisiana Television has it all. And we're proud of Louisiana Television and Louisiana Now.
Be strong and courageous. That's the message Jesus has for you if you're injured or ill. Keep your eyes on Christ and let us at Fontenot Physical Therapy and Fontenot Physical Therapy West help you run the race. Fear is useless. Just trust in Jesus and let us help you have hope in your future. Have a happy new year and God bless you.
Welcome back to Evangeline Mornings on UGN's Louisiana Television, and we've been talking with Superintendent of Evangeline Parish Schools, Darwin Lazard, and Assistant Superintendent, Michael Lumas. And you guys have been in education for quite a while. I believe you were both teachers. When did you start, Mr. Lumas?
I started in 1985.
Okay.
So it's been a while.
What made you want to get into education?
I was born into it. Family of educators, sisters that were educators, aunts and uncles that were educators. It's kind of in my DNA. And when I was in college, I wasn't in education originally, but I did make the switch, and definitely ended up in the right place because absolutely loved being a classroom teacher and loved my content and loved what I did.
Awesome. And Mr. Lazard?
I have 29 years in education. I fell in love with teaching, believe it or not, at the age of 10 in my fifth grade classroom at James Stevens, where Mrs. Lydia Renee White was my fifth grade teacher. And I was the teacher's helper, and I just admired so much what she did. And I determined then that I wanted to be a teacher. And I admired my principal at the time, Mr. Norwood Davis. He would come over the PA system. And so I decided also at some point that I wanted to be a principal because I'd been inspired by those two individuals, and not only them, but others throughout my educational career as I matriculated through the various grade levels. They inspired me, and that's why I'm in education today. And I love kids.
Yeah, I can tell. And yeah, you can very much see how much you guys love education. And it seems like you were both destined to follow that career path. So now let's get to what's happening with our schools. Like, what kind of projects do we have for Evangeline Parish Schools?
Well, I'm excited that the board last spring approved a $4.6 million bond initiative where improvements are going to be made on every single campus. And what's really exciting, and I hope that the taxpayers are really happy about it, is that the board did not ask for any additional tax revenue. They're doing this from existing funds in cooperation with the State Bond Commission.
And also, didn't you get some money back from CLECO for installing smart light or smart electricity? Or how does that work?
Yes, we did an efficiency project with CLECO for every campus, and so we got a rebate, and the board was gracious enough to make that money available to our schools so we could continue with improvements and projects and other things that are going on each and every campus. Wonderful. Additionally, we've gotten $1 million from Senator Heather Cloud for the demolition of the auditorium, the old auditorium at Bayou Chico, and the construction of a new multi-purpose facility that will be connected to the gym that they have and will be of a great use for our teachers and our students at Bayou Chico. So we're excited about that.
That's wonderful.
And those projects vary in a number of ways. For example, at some of our schools, Ville Platte High School in particular, and Pine Prairie, they decided to go for a track. Because I got input from the principals and stakeholders on the campus, as well as others in the community. So we developed a plan, so we have that there. At Basile High School, we have a softball field that's being constructed. At most of our elementary schools, we're going to have some outdoor classrooms where teachers can go and teach their students on the outside. They'll have facilities where they can conduct experiments if they're in science, or they can conduct physical education on a covered area, in spite of what the weather might be.
Yeah, I think that's really important because it challenges their brains a little bit. It gets them out of the little monotonous room that they're in, day in and day out, and it just kind of gives them a little refresher and makes things more interesting, because I always liked outdoor class time.
Well, it just makes the learning more real and applicable to what students need to know. And so I'm excited about all of those things that will be coming up over the next year and a half. And that's a testament to the commitment of the Evangeline Parish School Board. As I've said on a number of occasions, Mr. Lumas has heard me say, and you may have heard me say this as well, I can present a lot of great ideas, but without the support of the school board, then I'm not able to make any of those things happen.
Now, have you ever disagreed with decisions of the school board? I know you can't really, or do they allow you to voice your opinion, but you still have to go with, of course, what they vote. But how do you work with that if you kind of disagree with their decision?
Well, I work very closely with the 13 members of the school board, and I don't recall a time that we've had a disagreement, which I'm really grateful for that. We've worked together very carefully, very closely. We've worked together for the good of the parish, for the good of our students, for the good of our employees, and I appreciate that. I know that doesn't happen everywhere, but I'm grateful that we're able to work that way here.
And I think the board voted to give teachers a raise.
Yes, we presented a plan. I'm grateful to Miss Amy LaFleur, our CFO. And,
she is a hard-working woman.
She is. She's great at crunching the numbers for me. I'll present some things to her and say, okay, is this something we can afford? Is this something we can do? And so she's been great working with Mr. Lumas and me. And so we were able to give every employee a raise. In addition to that, we also gave merit pay, that the state allows us to give last summer. And so we're excited about what we're doing. Teacher pay here, and Mr. Lumas leads us in recruiting and trying to attract personnel. $41,400 is the starting pay in Evangeline Parish. And so when I started here around 29 years ago, it was about $17,000. So it's been a huge shift over the years. Is it everything that we need to do? No, we need to do more. But what I have said to the board, what I've said to our teachers and all of the employees is that, if you have to eat an elephant, you would do well to eat them in bites as opposed to trying to swallow them all at once.
Exactly.
And so you chip away at whatever it is, some baby steps. And so that's what we've been able to do over these 5 years that I've been superintendent. And I appreciate the board for going along, with those recommendations.
Well, that's great. Now, getting a little more personal, what is the most challenging part of your jobs?
Well, probably right now, Mr. Lumas would probably say personnel. Trying to find, a workforce. We've also had some supply chain issues, but in spite of all of the challenges that have come before us, we're still able to make things work. It's also, making sure that we can afford, the things that are asked for. Right. Because, it's important to live within your means. And so we've been able to operate a school system like that over these years. I would still say probably right now the toughest thing is in the area of personnel, and it's not limited to teachers. It's across the board. In every area we have challenges.
Why is it difficult to find personnel?
There's a number of reasons for that. If you look across the state right now, there's a teacher shortage. And we have used some unique ways to try to fill our positions and stuff, and we've been very successful. You look at some surrounding parishes and they can have 50 to 65 vacancies in their parish, where last semester we had 1. So we've been very, very successful in recruiting teachers and keeping teachers in the parish. But we go above and beyond. There is something about being a relatively small parish where there's a personal touch, that the people, and that you treat them kindly and treat them fairly. I've had several people come here and we sit down and we interview and we talk to them, and they're like, wow, I've never had this before, where you actually I want to know your background. I want to know about you. And if they don't feel like they're just being rushed through the door and that they're just a number where there's a personal touch to it.
Oh, good. Really quickly, because we're about to leave, but before we go, what is the best part of your job? What do you enjoy the most about your jobs?
Well, I'm going to say meeting the people of Evangeline Parish and working on behalf of the people of Evangeline Parish, students and employees and teachers and parents. Working on their behalf is certainly a joy. I look forward every year to our honoring our outstanding personnel, whether it be the teachers, the support personnel. I look forward every year to honoring our outstanding students. So I have a lot of bright spots in this position. No, every day is not a great day, but you know what? We make every day the best day that we can.
Okay, Mr. Lumas, the best part of your job?
Best part of my job is to be able to go walk into a school, walk into a classroom, and see a teacher up there teaching a Tier 1 curriculum, teaching it effectively, and seeing the students' faces as they're absorbing the information and knowledge,
Yes.
and seeing that spark that just makes them come alive, and the love for education that they have. Seeing a child learn, to me, is just
So that's the greatest part.
that to me, and it happens every day in every classroom. But
yeah,
when
I
you see
imagine that is-
you see it being done effectively by a teacher that is a master of their craft, my God, it's incredible.
And
Gentlemen-
can I
really
just
quick.
say one more thing?
Yeah, sure,
Let
really
me just
quick.
say this. The 13th check has certainly been something that has been a great recruiting
Absolutely.
tool for our district.
Sure.
And I'm grateful to all the businesses in Evangeline
Yeah.
Parish. And we've encouraged our employees and everyone else to shop locally. And I want to continue to encourage them to do that.
Amazing. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for being here, and I hope you'll come back again and continue to update us on what's happening with Evangeline Parish
Absolutely.
Schools.
Absolutely.
All right, you're watching Evangeline Mornings on UGN's Louisiana Television. We'll be back right after this.
Hey, this is Wayne Brady, and you're watching the Louisiana Channel.
And grocery, where fresh meat and good service equal a great experience. Specializing in smoked meats, specialty meats such as stuffed roast, holiday turduckens, boudin, crackling, fryer stuffed with crawfish and cornbread, and large freezer specials. Providing fresh and smoked meats to the community for 27 years. That's Paul's Specialty Meats and Grocery, 13.
Back to Evangeline Mornings. I'm Nancy Kay, and joining us now is Robbie Stevens, owner of Central Hemp, and also your wife Jill is part of the company too as well.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And thanks for having me. Thanks for
Sure,
having
I'm
me.
glad to have you here. And it's actually facing the Vedrine Road, that's Highway 10.
Yes, it's
So,
at the
yeah.
intersection of LMA Road and Highway 10, and we actually just in the last couple weeks opened a new location in Alexandria as well at 4621 Jackson Street, which is right next door to Max Fresh Market.
Very nice. So that must be exciting that you're starting to branch out and
It's very
build up a
exciting.
franchise.
It's very
Yeah.
exciting, yes.
So how are sales going with your product? Well, let's first of all talk about your product. So what kind of products do you have? I see you've brought some with us.
Yes, ma'am. We have all hemp-derived products. So we have oils, which are sublingual. You take them under your tongue. And the oils are very good for general wellness. A lot of people use them for different reasons. Some use oils for sleep. Some use for anxiety, depression, and also the main thing is inflammation. A lot of people have inflammation. There's a lot of foods we eat that if we started cutting them, it would help with the inflammation. But the oils are very good for that. Our bodies are actually made to accept the cannabis plant. It's through our endocannabinoid system.
Okay.
So through our CB1 and CB2 receptors, we can actually accept the cannabis plant.
No. Okay. I wasn't aware of that. So I mean, so you know the whole science behind it.
A lot,
Obviously.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've done a lot of research for about 2 years, kind of before we started opening our stores. That way, our goal is to help educate all of our customers better than anyone.
Well, what are some of the misconceptions people have about products?
We always say, be careful where you buy and be careful what you buy. We have people come in and they're like, well, I tried it, it doesn't work. And we'll say, just bring in what you purchased. And a lot of people are selling hemp seed oil, which is great because it offers the fatty omegas, 3, 6, and 9 fatty omegas, but it has no CBD in it. So people are like, well, I have a 500,000 milligram oil, and I'm like, that probably would cost you like, I don't know, $200,000. Yeah, I'm like, that's probably not right. It's probably hemp seed oil. They're like, well, I got it on Amazon. I'm like, yeah, Amazon is not licensed to sell CBD products.
Wow.
So CBD is a cannabinoid that's in the cannabis plant. There are many cannabinoids, and each cannabinoid offers different medicinal benefits. CBD is by far the most popular because it covers just a huge area of ailments. Different cannabinoids have different benefits. So CBN actually helps promote sleep, and it actually is a sedative. So once THC gets old, it actually transforms and converts itself into CBN, which is a sedative.
Oh, okay.
And then they also have CBG, which CBG is really studied a lot more in cancer. It actually helps shrink cancer cells by attacking them, and it's very good for glaucoma also.
Yes, I've heard that as well.
Yeah, and CBC is actually kind of a mood-lifting boost. So there's a lot of different cannabinoids, like I said, but CBD and CBG are probably the most popular.
Yeah, I know just for me that I've taken these gummies right here. Yeah, and can you explain to people what those are?
So those are a Delta-8 gummy. Delta-8 does naturally occur in the cannabis plant, just not in extremely large quantities. So what happens is they convert CBD into a Delta-8 form, and it's still a THC. It's just not a Delta-9 THC, so it doesn't have the psychoactive effects that the Delta-9 has. So the gummies are very good. They cover 4 things, basically, my wife and I discussed. People with sleep problems can definitely benefit from that.
That's how I benefited, because I was having a problem. I would wake up in the middle of the night for whatever reason, and it was so hard to get back to sleep. But since taking that, I would still wake up to, whatever. But I would go back to sleep so easily after that.
And that's the great thing about cannabis-based products over prescription medication is if you have children and you do take it for a sleep aid, it's non-addictive and it's non-habit forming. So, and if someone wakes you up like, Mom, I'm scared, you're going to pop right up and you'll be fully aware. And like you said, then you'll just go right back to sleep.
Don't give them to your children, though.
No, don't give them to your kids. No, don't. Yeah, definitely. You do have to be 21 years old to buy the flour products, which is the raw flour, which is what everything is made from, and then the Delta-8 gummies. All other products, you have to be 18 to purchase.
And certainly don't give them to your pets.
No. Yeah. The gummies, no.
Yeah, no children, no pets, but adults can certainly benefit from them the most, and it really does help me sleep. Now, what are the other benefits that you said they have?
So sleep, and then we have people, believe it or not, a lot of PTSD people really like the Delta-8s because even though they do have the medical marijuana prescription, a lot of them still say that the THC in the medical marijuana is too high for them, so it still hurts their, I guess, paranoia.
Right.
It still makes them a little more anxious, and the Delta-8s have no psychoactive effects. So it just is very relaxing, and it helps them relax and calm down.
That's really something. Now, so what other products do you have here?
We also, our other 2 benefits for that, for the gummies.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, you said there were 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the other benefit, people use it for pain relief. Just to kind of help with pain and manage their day. We have two people that come in. One is actually a retired pharmacist. He does not take prescription medication. He actually uses Delta-8 products.
That's something.
That is something. that
says
a lot.
That does say a lot. Yeah, I have a friend who's a pharmacist for a long time. So that's.
And then we actually kind of made a joke at our Alexandria store on a Facebook post, and it got a tremendous response. We put, are your in-laws coming over? We can help. And
that's pretty good marketing.
It was a good marketing. It actually was. We kind of did it as a joke, but it got a lot of response. And people sometimes just like to do it just to help relax.
Yeah.
Just after all day, take a quarter of a gummy. It's like having a couple glasses of wine. Just helps you unwind.
Yeah, in the beginning, and you had told me whenever I bought them to just take half or even a quarter before bed. And I'd forgotten about that, so I took a whole one. The next day I was like, oh, I'm so tired today. But then when I started taking a half, I was perfectly fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just be careful with them, but they work remarkably well.
The Delta 8 gummies
Yeah.
work very well.
Yeah.
And the oils, going back to the oils really help with inflammation and people who just have general anxiety. The oils will not make you feel aloof or high. They just really work in our endocannabinoid system to help get us in better alignment and kind of help repair the receptors that need repair. We have different strengths. Everyone makes different strengths. We carry a 300, a 900, and a 1800, and we also have a 5400. That's for people who do not want to take prescription pain medication. It will supplement that. A lot of people who have opioid addiction, once they talk to their doctor and consult with their pain doctor, they'll start taking a 5400 milligram, maybe in combination with a gummy, and help wean themselves off of the pain medication.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what else do you have here? You have the oils and...
Yes, ma'am. We have oils. So this is probably, this is a CBD muscle and joint rub. It is, the older crowd really loves this because they can relate. We call it icy hot with CBD. Nice. So they're like, oh, I like icy hot.
Yeah.
And this one is actually a roll-on. So you don't have to touch it, which is,
yeah.
people can keep it in their purse or in their truck. And it just rolls on, just an application roll-on.
Nice.
And it has the warming and cooling, which really works very fast. Within about 5 to 15 minutes, you will start feeling relief for just minor to intermediate discomfort.
Let's show the camera. We have Rob over here. We can get a little close up.
And this is a Cypress Hemp product. We are working with Cypress Hemp to do some co-marketing and some co-branding. So hopefully we'll have those products available very soon also.
Of course.
They're a very good company. They're out of Baton Rouge. And the lady one of the owners, Christy, she actually got ran over by a drunk driver when she was in college, and she could not tolerate pain medication. So that's how she actually got into alternative forms to help her.
Wow. Well, look, I want to hear some more about your business and plans for expansions and everything.
Okay.
And more products. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this on Evangeline Mornings on UGN's Louisiana Television.
Hey, you can check out Louisiana Television on UGN Broadcasting by downloading the app on Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, and all mobile devices. From Mardi Gras to Gumbo, Zydeco, and our 400 festivals, what other state can you go in and see a world of yesterday and today in the same blink of an eye? From LSU sports to Bayou Classic, Creole Cajun cuisine, Louisiana Television has it all. And we're proud of Louisiana Television and Louisiana Now.
Before John DeVille and his staff can unlock the doors, there's a gathering outside of the Cajun Catfish Steakhouse and Buffet, 1452 Highway 167 North, Ville Platte, Louisiana. His staff would like to invite you in for a dining experience you won't forget. From fruits and salads made fresh every day to a spacious environment to stretch your legs out and loosen your belt loop. Enjoy Central Louisiana's best in seafood and steak. The Cajun Catfish Steakhouse and Buffet, 1452 Highway 167 North, Ville Platte, Louisiana.
Welcome back to Evangeline Mornings. I'm Nancy Kay, and we've been talking with Robbie Stevens of Central Hemp, and you've brought all these wonderful products here. And before the break, you had mentioned quite a few of them, and you still have a couple more left to show us.
Yes.
So, what else did you bring?
We also have a salve. Salves, bath bombs, they work very well. And the reason being is because when we go back to our endocannabinoid system, a lot of our receptors are actually in our skin. So, and even if the product does have THC, as long as you use it intramuscular, it will not get into your bloodstream and have a positive drug test. And the THC helps, in my opinion, it helps a little better. It kind of gives it a little more of a boost and just helps it work generally throughout our body. But I always tell people, if you can say it hurts right here, a salve would be the way to go. It's an oily salve, and a little bit goes a long way. and you would just rub it on the area of that has problems.
Right, right. That's I didn't know some of this stuff, so I'm glad you're educating me. So I'm
Okay.
learning today. And during the break, I was telling you that I've actually used your face serum before, and you told me there's now a new face serum.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
We've partnered with a lady out of New Orleans, Blissful Stoner Body Essentials. She makes just a few products, but all the products she makes are great. She has some bath tea, which I didn't bring any bath teas, but she also has this face masks, and she has 3 of them. This one here is just it's a clay mask, and this one is for brightening and balance.
Nice. So you just mix it with a little water and
you mix.
yeah.
They say you can use any liquid. So some people use egg whites. Some people actually use the oil and mix it with the oil to put on.
Or you could use rose water or
Yes.
things like that. Yeah.
Yes. So these are very good. I haven't personally used this face mask. I don't know if it would go through my beard.
I know. I was going to say it might be a little messy, but
Yeah, but actually, I have used this on my beard as like a beard oil. It smells really good.
it does. It smells like syrup.
It smells like syrup.
Like
Yeah.
this is butterworks.
Yeah, and this is very good for rosacea, for any inflammation on the face or anywhere on your skin.
Yeah, because that's the problem that I have. I have rosacea, and so it's just, it's the red mask is what people call it. So you always have to wear makeup. So products like this, those
like
can
we
be
said,
life-changing. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Because like we said, CBD is great for inflammation. So wherever the inflammation is at, if it's internally or externally, it's great. We have the salves are even good for like diaper rashes or poison ivy, because again, it goes back to inflammation.
Oh, wow.
And then all of the products are actually made from the flower. The flower is my favorite part. It looks like, people are like, oh, that looks like marijuana. It actually does look, and it smells just like marijuana. But the difference between hemp and marijuana is the Delta 9 THC level.
Okay. Did you get that, Robbie? That's the flower.
So all the products are made, so these products, they're extracted. So they extract all the cannabinoids out of the actual plant, and that's what makes all of the products.
I'm loving the science behind all of this. I really am. What kind of laws and regulations did you have to deal with?
There's a lot of laws and regulations.
I imagine,
You have to keep up. It changes very, very regularly, actually.
Yeah.
So you really have to keep up with. The main thing to keep up with is what's licensed and legal to sell in Louisiana, because each state has different laws and regulations. In Louisiana, all products have to be label approved through LDH. To sell them. If not, you will be, ticketed, and then they take all the inventory that you have. So that would be a good hit. And then you have to be licensed through ATC, and then you also have to have, your business set up and everything like that as well. And we're actually working to help create a franchise for ourselves to help business owners who don't know where to start. We'll actually give them a start. We'll help them with product ordering. We'll help from licensing all the way to point of sale.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you guys are really taking off, because
We're
you have
really
a store
taking
in
off.
Alexandria, and now you're going to franchise.
And our job is to, because they sell CBD at gas stations.
Yeah,
you know,
they do.
but you don't know what you're buying. And I always tell people, I just ask them a question. All you have to do is ask a question. And if you're probably going to get a I don't know or a So if we don't know the answer, we will find out the answer, whether it's through one of our vendors or just we and do our own research. We love to help. That's why we're here. And we even want to help people help grow their own businesses.
Okay, now what made you want to get started in this business?
Just general pain that I was in. I did triathlon, and I was a rugby player for quite some time, so it really took a toll on me doing that, and I would have really bad problems with my feet and then also problems sleeping. Like you, I don't have a problem going to sleep, I have a problem staying asleep.
That's me. I
Yep,
go to
and
sleep
that's
just
most
fine,
people's
but
problem.
staying asleep is the hard part. Yeah.
So it helps me. I use an oil daily. I use a 1,800 milligram oil daily. And then every once in a while I'll take a gummy. I do like the flower. That's my favorite part. People, you can use it in different ways. In Louisiana, you're not supposed to smoke it. It's not intended to be smoked in Louisiana. But you can make teas, butter. Can of butter is actually very popular. A lot of people who can do their own, really, once you bake it and you break it down, then you can put it into butter and different foods and cook with
Okay.
it.
Very cool.
Yeah, they have podcasts about cooking with cannabis, and they're really fun to watch. And some of the people make some really cool stuff.
That's really awesome. And what did you say were the benefits for that? Like, let's say if we want to make a tea or a butter or whatever.
Yeah, if you wanted to make a tea with it, so in order to, I guess, heat everything up to get all the, I have made a tea, I guess. So I just took, you can buy like just tea bags, flavored tea bags. And what I do is I'll cut it and then grind up some of the flour and put it in the tea bag and tie it back up with the string and then steep it. And let it, I'd steep it for about 5 minutes and then just let the tea bag sit. And then you can drink it after that. And then it tastes just like the flavored tea that you would, have
That's
bought.
really cool.
But the advantages would be the CBD in it.
Oh, yeah. I like that a lot. Now, you had said you were going through a lot of pain, and that's why so that's when you started investigating into all
Yes.
of this and learning the science.
Yes.
Yeah. We already talked about the misconceptions with hemp and everything else. Now, like you said, the laws are getting a little bit better. The regulations are getting a bit better because you said off camera before that you got the Delta 9s. Is that what it is now? Are you about to get the Delta 9s?
We do have Delta 9 gummies.
Okay.
They were just approved, I want to say about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We've
Okay.
been selling the Delta 9 gummies as well.
Now, what's the difference between like Delta 8, 9, and so forth?
So Delta 9 has what is considered the psychoactive effects. But what differentiates hemp from marijuana is the amount of Delta 9 that's allowed. So in Louisiana and federally, you have to have 0.3% Delta 9 or less, and a total THC of 1% or less.
Okay.
Because you can have THCA, which that's the THC before the acid chain is broke. So once you heat it, the acid chain breaks, and then it actually turns into Delta 9.
Okay.
So as long as that's why they say a total of 1%. But what gives the entourage effect for hemp is a high CBD level and a high terpene profile.
Okay.
So different terpenes. When you think of terpene, think of taste. So that's what gives it its aromas, different aromas. Some might skunky, some might smell kind of fruity, and then the same way with the taste.
Okay.
And different terpenes have different profiles. So some terpenes are very good for entourage. Some are very good for inflammation, stress, mood boosting.
Nice.
So kind of depending on what you have, we can help pair a flower with you if you wanted to go the flower route.
See, that's amazing. So it's really something for everyone, whatever kind of, most of the problems that you're having can be solved. Now, we don't have much time left, but I kind of want to get into maybe Louisiana in general. How do you feel we're behind the times when it comes to legalization of marijuana? It's legalized for medicinal, but not really doing the more medicinal side.
Yeah, well, so the flower for medical, so the flower medical was just approved, but it is $125 for 7 grams of medical flower. You do not need a prescription to buy our products, and this product is $30.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and the only difference is the amount of Delta 9. That's the only difference.
Awesome. Well, Robbie, is there anything else that you'd like to mention before we close out?
Migraines.
Migraines?
CBD is, my wife would be mad if I didn't mention migraines. My wife uses an oil and a salve every day for migraine prevention. And if you have questions about migraines, she is the person to talk to at the store.
Awesome. Well, tell us where we can reach you, your website and your contact info.
CentralHempLLC.com. The Alexandria store, I don't know that number, but it's
brand new. So
it is brand. I've never called it yet.
You know where it is. Though. Yeah.
4621 Jackson Street in Alexandria, or 1010 LMA Road in Vidrine, and the number in 655-0200.
All right, Robbie, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're going to come back as you continue to get new products and just expand. And I'd like to hear more about your franchising a little bit later. So thank you so much for being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll be back after this on Evangeline Mornings on UGN's Louisiana Television.
Hey, you can check out Louisiana Television on UGN Broadcasting by downloading the app on Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, and all mobile devices. From Mardi Gras to Gumbo, Zydeco, and our 400 festivals, what other state can you go in and see a world of yesterday and today in the same blink of an eye? From LSU sports to Bayou Classic, Creole Cajun cuisine, Louisiana Television has it all. And we're proud of Louisiana Television and Louisiana Now.
Is your business struggling to get more customers? Are you tired of spending money on advertising or wasting hours on social media that is not getting you any results? Sketch animation videos like this one are proven to captivate your audiences and get you more leads and customers. It is simply the best form of video marketing as they improve audience attention, increase engagement, and educates them visually. People love seeing concepts drawn and showcased in a fun and interesting way. We are proud to offer professional sketch video services for you and your business that will help you grow your brand faster than ever before. Our videos are created with high-quality artistic effects and animations, and the best part is they are affordable. We also deliver your videos quickly while still being very creative. If you see a competing offer better than the price we quote you, we will match their price. Don't wait a second longer. Contact us today for a free no-obligation quote.
Be strong and courageous. That's the message Jesus has for you if you're injured or ill. Keep your eyes on Christ and let us at Fontenot Physical Therapy and Fontenot Physical Therapy West help you run the race. Fear is useless. Just trust in Jesus and let us help you have hope in your future. Have a happy new year and God bless you.